And we are on, guys. Welcome back to Iron Mind, the podcast that's going to blow your mind. I am Adrian, the host of this program, and today we will talk about something that you are facing, you watching this little podcast here. It's why everyone feel mentally exhausted right now. And there is few stuff that I was like, surely no, surely no. What I learned today is something that I will try to apply to myself, and I hope you will as well if you listen to this podcast. Is something that can potentially make you understand that that's the reason why you feel exhausted. It's not because of your work or whatnot. There is something that we should understand and we should control. But before we keep on rolling, as I say, as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friend. If this topic or if this podcast you find it very interesting and that you learn a lot of stuff, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just share it with your friend. Let's have more followers here, more people. And remember, I'm not doing that for that. I'm not doing that for the followers or the like or whatnot. I'm doing that because I want to help myself to be a better person for my future. If I have some wife, children, or grandchildren, whatnot, I want to be an example for them, and I want to teach them good lesson and not staying where I am. I want to improve. I want to be better. So that's why I start Iron Mind. So yeah, today is episode number 15. So 15 weeks since I've been starting this podcast and this journey with you guys. But today we will talk about something. Why are we feeling mentally exhausted every single day? And there is some stuff that we should think of. Like I segment the podcast today with basically 5 segments. And those 5 segments, I will try to explain them. I would read them for you, what I write down, but there is a lot that we didn't expect. Nobody really expected. Remember, I start the podcast with a quote. The quote is from Ferris Bueller. Ferris Bueller say, "Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it." And yeah, life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop and look around for a while, you might miss it. It's true. We are all focusing on doing a better job at work, being a better parent, be a better friend, be a better brother, be rich, whatnot. We are all comparing each other from social media when you watch a YouTuber or whatnot. I was just yesterday with a friend. I was watching a video, a YouTube video, where the guys who were going into the home gym of people, and he went to celebrity home gym, and most of them were YouTubers. And I was like, how the fuck is that possible? Like, what those people did to deserve that much money to have a house like that that so many people in the wide world could never afford. But like is overwhelming because you see that, and they are like 25 years old, and I'm 34 this year, and I'm like, I have no saving or very poorly some saving in my bank account. I'm not giving up. I know you can be millionaire at 40 years old, so it's a question of time and a question of idea. And I think if you don't give up, if you chase not the money, but if you chase the perfection, and manage to understand how to do it, life is incredible. I think is where we are all struggling in those days. We are like all watching those YouTubers or those influencers or whatnot that make so much money, and we try to do the same thing because we think that's the way to do it those days. I don't think is the way. I don't think is the way to succeed in life. Do not watch those people. Do not compare yourself. They are lucky people. Now, if you want to get healthier and wealthier, work for it. It is not like a fairy tale. How do you call it? Story. Is life. You have to fucking work for it to succeed. Is there is few people in this world who, yeah, maybe are like, I've been lucky, that's happened to me, but it's very few people. Do not wait for what you really want to. So today we segment one is the invisible workload. Most people think they are exhausted. Most of the people think exhaustion come from physical efforts, like working long hours, training hard, being constantly on the move, but that's not the main problem anymore. The real problem is mental overload. And what is mental overload? If you think about it, from the moment you wake up, your brain is processing notification, message, news, video, decision, comparison. And if it doesn't stop, even when you are resetting, you're still consuming. Your brain never get a break. It's just switch from one from how can I explain that? You think you have a break by scrolling or whatever, but your brain would always work about like without thinking about it is like, oh, this house is nice. Oh, that and that, all of that is like overwhelming for you. Yeah, it's just switches from one form of input to another. That's like running an app in the background all day and wondering why the battery die. If and that's what is very clear. Like if you put your phone on play all day after maybe 3 to 4 hours, I don't even know the durability of the battery those days on the phone or on the laptop, but the phone would die pretty fast, right? It's exactly the same thing with your brain. I am one of this person. I need to get back to this habit of I'm putting my phone outside the room before I'm going to bed. And the first thing I do is not watching my phone when I wake up. And I stopped doing it and I'm very gutted because I noticed a massive difference with my exhaustion. I wasn't as tired by doing that, by not scrolling and straight away, oh, I need to reply to this message. Oh, I need to watch my email. Did I receive my whatever, what I'm waiting for? And that's what we all do. Don't tell me you don't. Like few people might not do it, but quite often is what we do. And that's where we get like a little bit like tired because it's a workload, is an invisible workload for you. You think it's just doom scrolling and kind of like resting time, but it's fucking up your brain because your brain is working 10,000 times more than if you were just lying down and having a conversation with someone or lying down and in silence. Like if you think about it, sorry to say that, but this fucking phone fucked up our generation, and I think I am in the generation where we are not having fun before to having a lot of fun. So I used to be, I mean, I'm still young, but when I was really young, we were going outside playing football, rugby, doing all those stuff. And then when fun come, we thought that was a good way to socialize with others, which is fucking bullshit. It is fucking bullshit. You don't socialize with your phone. How can you socialize with a fucking screen like that? You know? So yeah, segment number two. So the first one is the invisible workload, which is what I say to you without paying attention. When you wake up, you scroll, all those stuff make you work way more, make your brain work way more than you expected. Segment number two is dopamine overload. There is something else happening under the surface is very powerful. It's how your brain responds to stimulation. A platform like, for example, TikTok are designed to give you a hit of novelty, new video, new ideas, new content. Every few seconds you have something new popping up. And what's happened? Every time that's happened, your brain releases dopamine. Dopamine, remember, is a chemical in your brain that make you feel good, right? It's this brain that when you watch it, you feel like relaxed and cool. You love it. It sounds amazing, right? It sounds incredible. Like you say, oh, I'm scrolling, I release my dopamine. But the problem is too much of it change your baseline. Means that a normal life like reading, having a conversation with someone, kind of like feel like off, feel slow, it feel boring, and you crave more. You crave more stimulation. Sorry. So it's where the fucking fun is terrible or the scrolling is terrible. Is we arrive in an area in life where having a simple conversation with someone cannot feel as interesting because you are thinking about, oh, what if I want to see this reel? Oh, I receive a message. Oh, you are distracted by this your phone all the time, and all the small thing in life are not as exciting that they used to be. How sad is that? And I watched a movie recently, an animation movie from Disney or Pixar. I don't know, don't remember. But the name is Soul. And I don't know if you ever watched this movie, but guys, I highly recommend Soul. Will make you realize then small little thing for someone, for us, would be more incredible than big thing. Like I cry when I watch this movie because at the end of the movie, basically, is a guy who died and going to paradise, and then he managed to connect with a soul that didn't want to go on Earth. And when she finally arrived on Earth, she discover like leaves falling down the tree. She discover wind. She discover sound. She discover all of that and fall in love with life. And all those little things we forget about it quite often in life. Like sometimes I'm walking my cat. Yes, I'm walking my cat. I'm scared for her to get run over. But sometimes I put my phone in the pocket and I'm watching her. And the way she reacts around everything is incredible. Everything is new. Even if she's going to the same bush every single day to chase lizards or flies or stuff like that, she's always happy and excited to do it. Does that happen to you? Answer the question. Mm, mm. It doesn't. So your brain is craving more stimulation, and when it doesn't get it, you feel like restless, unfocused, and mentally tired because like your brain is like, what the fuck is going on? And it's not because you've done too much. Pretty much, it's because your brain has been offered the wrong kind of input. And that's the thing. If you feel about the productivity we have those days compared to the productivity that my parents got when they were working, we are miles behind. We are miles behind. And even for me, when I do my podcast, my productivity is really hard. Like I'm having a message or I have a reel being sent to me, and my focus attention is so poor. But it was poor before, and now that we have all those like stimulation coming in with TikTok, Instagram, I don't know, other app, whatever. Fuck, it make me so. It make me realize, and I don't do anything about it. And I really want my brain to be like, do something about it. And I do believe I will do a challenge very soon. Then I would potentially record just to give you an idea of how I feel. I want to try to do a hundred hours without my phone. And the only way to contact me obviously would be when I say no my phone is like put my phone and you can call me. You can call me and that's it. That's the only thing I'm allowed to do. Otherwise it won't work. But that's what I want to try to do is 100 hours without my phone because I believe that my phone is draining me into the life that I don't want. If I can get out of it, if I can stop scrolling, if I can stop being on my phone, if I can be more productive with my day, I would be way happier. I am way happier than I used to be when I started this podcast. I would like to see the beginning, like how I look, and now, by the way, look my hairline, guys, pretty incredible. I need to have a haircut very soon. But yeah, so dopamine overload is dangerous for you for your fatigue level. It's like we are chasing this dopamine feelings the wrong way. Think about it. You go on a hike, the sunrise is still not it's still dark. You walk your hike, it's exhausting, it's tiring, sometimes you want to give up. And then you arrive at the top of this cliff and suddenly the sunrise. How amazing is this feeling of you sit down and you watch, you're like, wow, that's that's life. That's a world that's beautiful. It's so much more grateful to do that than fucking do that on your phone by watching a fucking dumb video. And I am one of them. I am one of this person addicted to my phone. So I am aware of it, and I really want to change that. I really want to be a better person that way. I want to stop having those fun fucking thing. So if I repeat segment one, number one, sorry, is the invisible workload. Segment number two, dopamine overload. Segment number three, why rest doesn't feel like rest. Here is where it gets interesting. Most people think they are resting, sorry, but they are not actually recovering. Sitting on your phone for hours feels like a break, but your brain is still active the entire time. And I've never thought about that. I never thought, like sometimes I come home and I'm like, oh, I just need to sit down and be on my phone. I just need to sit down and watch a video and just relax. But that's not relaxing. Your brain is fucking fuming inside because there's so many information popping in on those videos or whatnot, and you're like comparing, and your brain is overworking. So yeah, sitting on your phone for hours is for a little break, as we say, doesn't really help because your brain is active the entire time. You're watching, you're reacting, you're comparing, you're thinking. That's not rest, that's consumption. Real mental recovery is quiet. It's a moment where nothing is demanding for your attention, but those moments are rare now because silence feels uncomfortable. We've trained ourselves to avoid it. And that's true. How many times, like, I try to do it. As I say to you, I'm walking my cat. Sometimes I'm sitting down, put my phone in my pocket, and after a few minutes, I'm like, fuck, I don't like it's too quiet, you know. But fuck, if you think about it, I did it last time. I did close my eyes for 15 minutes, try to work on my breathing. And then the next 15 minutes, I was watching my cat, enjoying every second of a hunting moment. And when I was done, doesn't mean it was a massive change, but I felt like so much more ready to be productive. And it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling because you feel like, well, I've done nothing for 30 minutes. I just sit down, close my eyes, and then watch my cat. How can I be more awake and more ready for my day? It's incredible. You give it a try, guys. Give it a try. And I promise you, guys. I give you this promise, picky promise. Let's do it, picky promise. I give you this promise that I would try my hardest to be off my phone as much as I can. And if you want to contact me, you have my phone number. If you don't have my phone number, you don't know me well enough to disturb me. That's a remix of Tom Holland quote, but that's true. If you want to call me, if you want to text me, it's better than sending me a thing on Instagram or whatnot. I promise you guys, I would try my hardest not to do it. And it's like an addiction. You know, when people say I'm addicted to alcohol or drugs, for me, when I watch that, when I see that, I'm like, come on, man, it's not that hard. Just stop. And I cannot fucking do it with my phone. So I'm also addicted as much than those people, and it doesn't affect me physically, but it affect my brain. It affect my way to see the world. And fuck, I would really want to get out of it. So segment number 3, why we are not resting too much is because when we think about taking your phone for a few hours to have a break, your brain is active the entire time. Your brain is watching, reacting, comparing, and thinking. So even if you don't think about it, even when you watch something, you feel like you are relaxing and you're not, your brain will try to pay attention to every signal that the brain can take. Segment number 4, the pressure to always be on. On top of all of it, that there is the pressure to be productive, the pressure to improve, the pressure to keep up. You go on Instagram and feel like everyone is doing more, achieve more, and living better. That's what I say to start. Even if you logically know it's curated, it still affects you. So your brain never fully relax. There's always this background noise say, I should be doing more. And that the thought that create exhaustion. Because when you see, is what I was saying, when you see those YouTubers, when you see those successful people, and you are like at 34 years old, you are single, you have a cat, you pay your rent, you make money, but not as much that you wanted to, is draining. And that's when I drop into my depression. I was like, why am I still there? If I'm not, how can I say that? If I'm not contributing to the world, why am I still there? And it was hard because every time I was waking up, and then you watch, first thing you do, you watch a reel, and you're like, fuck, this guy's traveling a lot, and I'm not being able to buy a ticket for somewhere I want to go because financially I can, or that or that. But all of that is the consequences of my decision and my action. If I was smarter with my action, it would be better, right? So is what I say to a lot of people: you are the masters of your decision. You cannot you cannot blame others if you accept stuff. If is what I say to someone recently. I was like, if you say yes to someone, stop complaining about it. Move on. Move on. And it's for me, it was a pressure of like, why at 34 years old I don't have everything that normally a 34 years old guys should have, having a partner, a children, a house, a stability, then I don't have. And I realize everyone go on his own pace, and you don't have to rush it. But at the time, it was exhausting and tiring and scary. I was like, I'm just not worth living. And thinking about that now, that I'm a little bit, I'm way better. Sorry, now that I'm way better, I'm like, that's where we have to control mind. That's where we have to be incredible with the mind, because it can make you do stuff that you would never expect it. I would never expect it. Say one day, why am I here? Never. And I'm believing that my uncle, when he committed suicide, would have never thought he could kill himself ever. And I'm telling you that because my uncle, little story, my uncle was dating my auntie, my step auntie. I mean, I don't know how to say that. A second marriage was my uncle was married to a girl, divorced, and then married this girl. I don't know how you say that, step auntie. My auntie and the ex-husband of my auntie committed suicide with pills. And I remember when my uncle found him on the bed, he was a bit shocked, but he was like, how can you reach this point of, like exhaustion or dit- distress? I don't know how you distress, I think is how you say it, to kill yourself. My uncle say that. And then he killed himself. So if you can master, if you can control your mind, fuck, that would be a saver for a lot of people. A lot of people. So remember the pressure of always being on top. By scrolling on everything, your brain never relax, and your brain always going to be like, fuck, I should do more to reach what I want. And that's exhausting for you. Segment number 5, what actually help is not some extreme reset, not some quitting everything, but just small and real change. First, reduce your input. Not forever, just create a space. Every 30 minutes without your phone can make a massive difference. So first, reduce your inputs. Not forever, just create a space, and think about 30 minutes without your phone can make a massive difference. 30 minutes a day. You don't have to do more than that. 30 minutes a day can make some massive difference. Second, stop confusing distraction with rest. Rest is when your brain isn't being pulled in 10 directions. If I repeat that, second, stop confusing distraction with rest. Your brain need a rest, a real rest, and not being pulled in 10 directions. Otherwise, without thinking about it, you never stop. Your brain never stop. And third, slow things down intentionally. Your mind isn't broken, it's overload. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do, it's give it a little bit less. So if I repeat the 3 way to help you, first, reduce the inputs. Not forever, just create a space. Remember that 30 minutes per day can make a massive difference. 30 minutes per day without your phone can make a massive difference. Second, stop confusing distraction with rest. Rest is when your brain isn't being pulled by 10 in 10 direction. Third, slow things down intentionally. Your mind isn't broken, your mind is just overload. And sometimes it's strong. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is just to rest and do less. Do less is sometimes better, and it's what I say to my athletes. Training less sometimes is better for you. Why? Because you recover, your nervous system recover, your body is recovering better. Doing too much every single day, you would blow up and you would pass this line of overload, overtraining, and that's where injury is coming. And it's the same with your brain. If you always like borderline at this limit of like, I can keep on, the day you pass this line, it's really, it's terrible. It's terrible. You reach a burned out, and you don't know what can happen. Are you strong enough to go through a burnout? Some people don't. And that's something I really wish I could help people who suffer with mental depression. I really wish, because I'm always thinking about my uncle, and I'm like, What could I have done to change his life? What could I have done to make him stay with us? What can I do to help those people who are in the slowest and the lowest moment of their life? There is a person who kills himself every 45 seconds. And since I've been into my depression, I kind of like understand. But if you are listening to this podcast and you have those thoughts of like ending your life, remember, people care about you. First of all, people care about you. Second of all, the pain is off for you, but you transfer the pain to people that love you. And that's what I wish I could say to my uncle. You're in pain right now, and the only way for you to not feel this pain and feel this depression is to end it. But remember what you're going to do. You're going to transfer your pain to the people who love you. And that's probably the worst feeling you can ever have. Because as much as you think it would be a good thing for the person you love to leave, you give them a favor, you don't. Because for me, as much as if he was there, I would tell him I think about it every single day. When I don't want to train, when I don't want to do anything, I'm like, you know? So yeah. Sorry guys, that was a little bit emotional for me. Yeah. I really wish I could help people. Well, I wasn't expecting episode 15 finishing like that. But fuck me. Mental exhaustion is a thing. Take it seriously. Don't let don't let life run over you. Never. Uh, I'm sorry, guys. Oh, fuck me. So yeah. Wow. Here we are. That was a rough moment. All those thoughts about my uncle is where I realized is still there. Still like why? And that's due to mental exhaustion. Anyway, mental exhaustion isn't a sign that you are weak. It's a sign that your mind hasn't had a moment to real slow down and of a real silence. And in a world that constantly demands your attention, protecting that silence become a form of strength. So if you've been feeling tired for no clear reason, now you know why. And more importantly, now you know where to start. Don't forget, build your mind, grow your life. That was Iron Mind, episode 15. Mental exhaustion. Why if you feel tired even after resting? And that's the answer. Sorry if I'm finishing this podcast like that. I didn't really expected that was going to be that emotional towards the end. But hey, you have to keep it real for you guys. I have to keep it real and I don't have to pretend all the time. I wish you an incredible whatever day or night, wherever you are in the world, and I see you on the next episode. See you guys.